These are 10 guys that I'm keeping an eye on really closely heading into the start of the season. Not in order yet.
Not in order.
Don't hold me to that
Write
yet.
that down, not in order.
CDT, Cooper Duff Titler. He
Yes.
might well be the number one pick at this point if you did mark it down. He's right in the number one mix heading into the season. Athletically, very impressive. He's a ruckman from the Calder Cannons. He recently ran 2.97 seconds over 20. Did a level 21 yo-yo as well. This is some of his form from last year. I was at this game last season against the Dandenong Stingrays. He was awesome. He had 30 touches in that performance. He can really move around the ground. He's a point of difference as a taller guy, concentrating on his footy now after having a successful basketball junior career. So he's one that's definitely in that number one conversation, as is Willem Dersman. We know the name, we know the surname. This guy's a little bit different to his brothers and sister, obviously, Yaz. He's got a lot of traits and versatility to his game. He's been on the radar as an early pick for a couple of years now, playing for the Gippsland Power. This year he's going to play in the midfield, some time forward, also in defence. Could he be that Nick Blakey type as well, that deliverer of halfback? His skills, as we see here, are really, really good for a taller, versatile type who can run and play. He's also got a basketball background. He loves his basketball too, but footy's where it's going to head for him. Dyson Sharp, the South Australian, looming as the best prospect at this stage out of SA. He's the bull midfielder who's ready to play. Has some Jason Horne-Francis qualities with his power around stoppages. Contested ball winner. Played league footy last year as a 17-year-old with Central District, so has that under his belt already. So he will come into this season with a lot of expectation that he'll dominate this year, and I really think he will.
What about some academy prospects? Because Gold Coast have a beauty in Zeke Uland.
Yeah, Zeke the Freak. There's nothing to doubt about Zeke the Freak. We saw all that last year. His Errol Gouldness type of midfielder in this year's draft pool. He dominated last year. He can run. He played some VFL footy for the Gold Coast as well. He was really good in these performances for the Allies where he stood out playing as a bottom major. So he's managing his back injury at the moment. It's a week-to-week one. No real timeline on when he's back permanently playing. So faces a delayed start to the season. If he wasn't in the academy tied situation that he is, I think he'd be very much the favourite for the number one pick. Being a Gold Coast Academy player probably changes that a little bit, but definitely the Suns have a ripper coming through in Zeke Uland. Daniel Annabel, I'm calling him Annabel Lecter. he's good with contested disposals and fava beans. The Brisbane Academy player averaged 28 disposals and 6 tackles in the Talent League last year playing for Brisbane's Academy. He can accumulate, also hurts with his touches too. So really consistent player who will again dominate for the Allies this season, I'd expect, and continue that stream of midfielders coming through for the Brisbane Academy. More stream of nicknames coming through as well. I've got a few more up my sleeve. I might wait for them next week. Josh Lindsay, a player from the Vic Country lineup and Geelong Falcons production line in recent years, started in the under-17s grand final day game last year. So
he was best on ground, wasn't he?
He was one of them. He plays off a wing and half back and provides plenty of run and distribution with the ball. So 182 centimetre prospect, averaged 17 disposals last year at CTL level. I think he's one that clubs and recruiters definitely have their eye on as being a potential riser.
What about Liam Heatherton? Because we love a key forward on this show. Everyone loves a key forward in terms of the draft. What can you tell us about him?
Well, every draft needs a couple of key forwards to come through. That was the beauty of last year, wasn't it? We saw a few of these taller types emerge and strengthen the pool. Liam Heatherton probably put his name on the map last year in under-17s futures game, where he really showed his stuff as an exciting taller prospect. He's playing for the Murray Bush Rangers. He also played for the Allies this year, but he's got some good ability in the air and also some X factor to stand up in some key moments of games. So I think he's definitely among the key forwards to watch. Max
King, we spoke a little bit about him last week. Sydney Academy prospect. Reminds me a little bit of Isaac Heaney as well.
Yeah, I love this guy. I think there's a lot to like about him. He's a bit taller than Isaac Heaney. He's an overhead marker. Athletic. He's an athletic freak that is headed to the Swans' way as a member of their academy. He kicked 6 goals on the weekend, so he's in form. Kicked 6 against the Giants Academy and really stood out. So he's got all the traits as an early pick. If you looked at him just athletically, there's so much to like. His marking really stands out, and he's someone who I think could really pop. So I've been watching him closely since the end of last year, and I think he's definitely one that, along with Noah Chamberlain and also Lockie Carmichael, the Swans have a really good hand of academy boys coming through.
They certainly do. Noah Hibbins-Hargraves.
Yeah, a silky half-forward wingman from Dandenong Stingrays. He'll go through the inside midfield role at different times this year, but his weapons at this point are on the outside. He played 16 games, kicked 23 goals last year for the Stingrays and has some real movement and dash. So he's another player who I think, given his skill level, I think that'll stand out. The funny part about this year's draft is it's hard to say exactly who the best pure midfielder is and that guy that can go inside, outside and deliver. So I think that job or that role is up for grabs and he could be a contender for that. Louis Emmett's a very different player to rounding out this top 10. Oakley's best prospect this year. We know the Oakley form line in Victoria is so strong. He kicked 4 goals in a game last year as a ruckman. He also had 28 touches in a game. So that just shows that he can get around the ground and use his running strength. Athletically really strong. He comes from a rowing background. So getting around the ground and creating an outlet at different points is important for him. 199 centimetres, so he's going to have to spend some time forward at different points. But that's Louis Emmett, and he'll lead, along with Cooper Duff-Tytler, the Vic Metro Ruck Brigade heading into the season.
So that's your top 10. Any unlucky to miss?
Well, there's a few unlucky to miss that I've thrown up in that scenario. Sam Cumming, Matt Leray. Another player that I'm keeping an eye on as well, just a bit of a watch, is a familiar name, Javan Filippo. Just keep an eye on Jev because a jack-in-the-box half-forward midfielder, takes high marks, can find the ball, damaging with his turn of speed. He's actually an elite decathlete. So he's got some amazing athletic capabilities and has done that at national level at juniors coming through. So wanting to follow his brother Mateus, of course, into the AFL. Started very well. Last week had 31 touches in a game and 9 marks. So, yeah, someone to keep an eye on is Jev Filippo.
Okay. Well, this is your 10 to watch in terms of the national draft for 2025.